Oh, grottos, an important part of any competitive maps design checklist. They said,
like, if it's the best ever, I need it to be the best ever, not just like the best competitive map. I also think he's wrong. Towers of Doom is not even the best map in HOTS, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, okay. What would be the best map in HOTS then, CavalierGuest? And why Blackheart's Bay?
It's Blackheart's Bay. Blackheart's Bay is actually one of the most balanced maps for competitive. When you suck at Blackheart's Bay is awful. That's not what I'm talking about here. But Blackheart's Bay in competitive is actually a really well-balanced map. You can have early game snowball strategies, you can have late game strategies, you have multiple different laning arrangements that are viable based on what draft you have. You have a lot of vision control to look at. There's even secret wards. There's little lanterns on the map that will move if anyone walks by them, and they will move even in Fog of War. So if you move your camera, you can see the lanterns move, and you can use that to sort of, are they rotating or are they not rotating? There are strategies that only work on Blackheart's Bay and don't work on any other map. And for me, that's very, very interesting, because HOTS is a map where every map should be different. You shouldn't be able to just pick the same meta on every single map. That's just silly. Why even have maps if you're just going to be playing the same comps and same heroes? Blackheart's Bay is a map where the meta is completely different at a competitive level. And there's more strategies that are viable in the map than pretty much any other map.
Certainly something to consider. There's something I was going to say, but it totally just slipped my mind as we see Brightwing being picked up by Warren Ooh. Ah, yes. You mentioned the lanterns that you could see moving on Blackheart's Bay to figure out where the enemy team is, despite them being in the Fog of War. And of course, there is the classic trick on Cursed Hollow that uses the same principle. There are ravens near the siege camps that fly away when a hero walks by. And you can see these ravens through Fog of War. So you can see through Fog of War the first time an enemy hero walks by their siege camp. And as well, you can also use this to figure out not only just if you're actively looking at when they fly away, but you can simply check, are the ravens there? Okay, then they've started their siege camp. Oh, the ravens aren't there? Then they have started. The ravens are not there? Then they have walked through that area. It's certainly something to consider on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, there used to be a meta at one point where one person would always walk by the siege camp right at the start of the game.
Yep.
To make it impossible to use that trick. I don't think the community is ready for this BHB tech. Actually, there was a poll once about, what is your absolute most favorite map on the subreddit, and I think it was like almost 20% of people said Blackheart's Bay was not only a map they liked, it was their favorite map. So it's not the majority of people favorite, so it's like a 20-70 split, but a good portion of people really love Bay. It's just also the map that more people hate than the other map, but those people are all wrong and are probably bad at Blackhearts, let's be honest.
And to be fair, the people that are bad at Blackhearts also deserve to enjoy the game too. All right, it's not like, you're bad, therefore you deserve to have a bad time.
If they were, but have you considered that if they were better at the game, they would learn to appreciate Blackheart's Bay?
I mean, I guess, but that's. And if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bike. I don't know what to tell you.
Or in a wheelchair. There's multiple options.
Yeah, if circumstances were different, things would be different. More at 11. All right. As we look at this Towers of Doom draft here, between, on the left side of your screen, Shilly Mountain, and on the right side of your screen, Masters Clash Academy. We see a Tychus picked up. Again, I mention this all the time. Panda Colada on that Tychus. Tychus is an extremely common response to Diablo and Hunger. And ooh, Ultralisk. Okay, only going to be on that Medivh this game. I want to see some Leyline Apocalypse action. Kev, I'm not sure if you saw the Masters Clash game towards the end of yesterday, but we had a composition where you had Medivh Diablo Hanzo, and there was Leyline and Dragon Strike, But then the Diablo went Lightning Breath, and I didn't understand that at all, because to me, that felt like a natural wombo of Leyline Seal into Apocalypse into Dragon Strike, and the lack of that intermediary step of the Apocalypse made almost all the Dragon Strikes just completely whiff. Did you see that game, and do you hold the same view that it should have been Apocalypse yesterday?
Yeah, a lot of people get used to going one ult for whatever reason. Sometimes, like, in particular, like Diablo players, sometimes they just feel like they need the unstoppable frames because there's some kind of CC chain. Particularly in a Garrosh, you can Lightning Breath to prevent like getting thrones, things like that. But it's a team-based game. If your team has some sort of insane combo and you don't take the combo, then you're not playing with your team, and that game is 4v6 essentially at that point. It is like you need to be playing with your team, and 4v6 is not as good as 1v9 because it's really I find it interesting in the draft that they picked the Malf so early, and then anyone who understands competitive Malf play knows that Malf needs a save mechanic from the team, so that Malf pick really telegraphed the Medivh pick. And then I don't feel like, I mean, they locked in Tychus, who's a burst hero essentially, and Garrosh. Garrosh is not good into Medivh because you can just portal every throw, and it's good if you can put enough pressure on that they're forced to use portal defensively, and then you throw them away from the portal. That's a tough scenario to actually engineer if your backliner is not really reliable damage dealers. And again, we have the situation where it's a HANZO, the most reliable damage dealer. So I'm surprised they didn't pick something that was a little bit better into Medivh when the Malf telegraphed the Medivh so hard.
Well, we do indeed have the Medivh right here, and that's always going to be an interesting component to this game. Here, let's get into the player introductions. Hold on a second. Wait, never mind. They just want to fight. Masquerade hitting that stun flip combo onto... Cav, help me out here with this Garrosh's name.
Commander Burt.
Commander Burt. I love it. All right. Hey, you know what? You can't spell Commander Burt without whatever this guy's name is. All righty. Commander Burt, you are indeed, as Masquerade gets the flip onto the commander himself now, and there it is. Hey, if only somebody would have informed us that Medivh can portal every throw from Garrosh. What an interaction right there. Medivh now rotating over to mid lane to catch that soak. The members of Masters Clash Academy picking up their sapper camp as well. Masquerade looking for the invade here. Remember, they do have a Dahaka who can join at any time. Dahaka not even globaling in on this one. Masquerade, oh, with the well-timed shadow charge to step onto the point, and there's Dayquaza with the tongue, getting first blood in this game onto Brightwing. Ultralisk, though, very, very low, will drop down as well. Still a 2-for-1 in favor of Chili Mountain, and a successful sapper invade.
Yeah, Ultralisk volunteered to die there, just to keep the game a little bit more interesting for us viewers, I think. Reset his stacks and whatnot. He actually could have gotten out, but he let his portal expire. It's an unfortunate thing with the Medivh. You got to keep track of when your portal's going on, even if you're queuing people for stacks.
I have people in the chat trying to tell me how to pronounce this Garrosh's name, and all of you are wrong. It is Commander Burt. Alrighty. Now Chili Mountain taking their own sapper camp here. Now Masquerade looking for the vision control onto mid lane. Panda Colada a little bit skeptical about the rotate. Masquerade, oh, there is the check onto Masca, who will simply walk. Oh,
yes!
Thrown away from the portal by Commander Burt himself, the tank commander. He's got it. Masquerade will fall. 3-2 kill lead, though, still being enjoyed by Chili Mountain in their favor. Cookie stepping up very aggressively into Dino. Dino receives the Force of Will, and Cookie dropping very, very low in the meantime. The members of Chili Mountain portaling away, and they still have this sapper camp here in the bot lane. Dino looking for whatever they can get. Commander Burt gonna hop right on out of here. And now Dayquaza picking up that mid soak. And dude, Cav, I gotta say, there's nothing more tilting in this game than just seeing that bird flying overhead, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. I hate it so much.
It is a little bit frustrating to deal with. That's the scenario with that throw that I was talking about, where you portal first and then you throw away from the portal. But again, they need to be able to do that consistently throughout the entire game, or it won't work. Dahaka burrowing into the backline, actually, this fight ended up being very, very split. One of the interesting things about Medivh comps is you're never split. You can always fix the splits with portal. Dayquaza gets thrown in, but then there's going to be the portal and the Force of Will out, and he's going to be absolutely fine. As I say that, a massive flank by Blaze, the three-man jet propulsion, and Sylvanas actually ends up going down to a beautiful CC chain with the poly.
Now, Panda Colada dropping very, very low will tank the Arcane Rift from Ultralisk, and there is yet another throw away from the portal by Burt. Well done right there. Ultralisk somehow not dying, though in the meantime does give himself the Force of Will, but Vaders is there with the jet propulsion. Will get his kill stolen, secured by Cookie with that throw of the grenade, and we're going to show you some talents right here. Let's look at 7s achieved for each team. Feeding Frenzy in particular, I'm noticing that one for Dahaka. And Cav, I gotta say, this game feels like a bit of a game of chicken. You know, who's going to use their ability first? If we see the throw first, then the Garrosh loses. But if we see the portal first, then the Medivh loses. It's just about who can force each other to use their tools first, because the response to each other is going to be the determinant of victory.
Yeah, it's something that's really common in competitive HOTS, where you have a cooldown that breaks what the enemy team is trying to do, but if you never use it, they have a cooldown they can't use, and it goes back and forth, and it comes down to a game of positioning and flanks. We've seen so far that every time the Garrosh has been to secure a kill, it's been because of a Blaze flank, or it's been because a cooldown was used first. So this is a very technical draft and situation from both teams, and hopefully, as they get ults and there's even more cooldowns to track, we can continue to see these interactions happening and keep up with them, because it is very difficult, even as observers who don't have to worry about tracking them manually, to think about everything that could potentially be happening. And there's going to be another dead Medivh.
Ultralisk already dying 3 times in the first 5.5 minutes of this game. There is a huge scatter following up the jet propulsion from Vaders. And guys, chat, I just want to point this out, okay? Vaders got the successful gank and then immediately off back to his lane in mid, okay? He did not stay and push with the 4-man. This is what you should be doing as the offlaner. When you secure the gank and it works, you leave. You go back to the soak. And now here, the successful invade of the Sapper Camp from Masters Clash Academy, who have hit their level 10s before the members of Chili Mountain. Masters Clash with a very strong showing versus a team much more highly seeded than them in this tournament. Chili Mountain, the #1 overall team in Masters Clash, looking a little bit shaky to start out this game, but of course it's Towers of Doom, the map of comebacks. Here's an Apocalypse combo from Masquerade. Will get indomitable by the commander himself. 3-man Dragon Arrow by Panda Colada, but that's a leyline seal. What can we find? There's a taunt onto Garrosh, but Garrosh will go down. Garrosh not taunting himself, he's taunting Medivh, and there is a 1-for-1 between these two teams, making a 2-for-1 in favor of Chili Mountain. Oh, the scatter from HANZO is huge, evening it back up to a 2-for-2. What a fight.
I'm really excited to see Emerald Wind here. Emerald Wind is actually one of the better portal control tools in the that's available to their comp, that's like optional, not necessarily in-base kits. And if you can push people away from the portals with Emerald Wind, then you can throw taunt. Like, you can't portal someone out if they're getting Emerald Winded away from the portal after the throw. So this is going to completely change the strategy here for, the Commander Burt. Commander Burt can now throw freely as long as Brightwing can position around where the throw is happening, so that any portals that happen, you can't get to them.
Vader's now stepping forward right here, going on to Masquerade. Wow, gets snatched right out of his jet propulsion by DeQuaza, hitting a big tongue, forcing out the bunker from Vader's. And a bit of cooldown trades. The members of Chili Mountain forcing out that long bunker cooldown and utilizing the portal to be able to rotate without any risk. Medivh always breaking the game like normal. And I just want to ask while we wait for our next fight. Oh, hold on, wait a second. Oh, wait. Dragon Arrow going out to NA, and we don't have time to wait for next fight as it's in there, and Medivh getting popped yet again for his 4th death of the game. DeQuaza landing the tongue onto Burt, but Burt's going to be okay. He receives the phase shift, and this Medivh is just not working out so far for Chili Mountain. It's looking a little rough. 9 kills total for Masters Clash Academy. Again, 4 of those have been onto Medivh in particular, and Cookie popping the Odin yet again to increase the siege potential of MCA bot lane. What's up, Cav?
I'm just sad that we haven't seen Leyline A block this. Like, they have these combos and they're not actually doing the combos, and you might as well not pick them, right? That might as well be Lightning Breath at this point. if you're not going to do a combo, don't draft the combo. And we're seeing Masquerade use his APOC for his own engage potential. He's like, oh, I see something. I can do this. But then, Emerald Wind, Bunker, Garrosh, throw out. There's so many tools that they have to deny that sort of play. And then again with the Emerald Wind.
That timing was just so perfect, right?
That was so clean. It was so clean. You gotta play with your team. It's just the way it is. Like competitive odds. And we're not seeing that out of Chili Mountain today.
Heroes of the Storm is a team game, according to CavalierGuest. I'm still waiting until I hear from a few more corroborating sources. Arrow parting the Red Sea, not going to land onto either Ultralisk nor Banana. Masquerade getting the wall stun onto Burt, gonna walk right on out of there. And bottom bell tower is dropping very low. Vader's not able to find the jet propulsion onto Dino. Will just barely miss it and leave back off to the off lane. The members of MCA holding on to this bottom bell tower for the moment and also enjoying a full level lead in their favor as well.
I really wish this HANZO would stop throwing arrows in vision, because he's throwing it when minions can see it, and that's allowing the enemy team or Chili Mountain to dodge really, really effectively. If you're going to throw a HANZO arrow, nothing can see you. The enemy team can't know where you are, because not only can they see it coming, there's an audio effect. Right? When arrow is thrown, and if you throw it not vision, the enemy team does not hear that audio effect.
Ooh, Burt able to throw Banana away from the portal yet again, but Banana actually still able to make it to the portal in spite of that. Panda Colada going to be the only person in this fight to drop. Wow, it's not exactly the result I was expecting in the moment. Dequaza stepping forward aggressively, looking to secure this objective for Dino. A 5v4 in favor of Chili Mountain. Lands the tongue onto Burt, who will get rooted. Now Burt will drop very low, will very likely die right here, able to hit a bit of self-heal. He's trying to get on out of there. The aggressive portal, though, making sure Burt's going to go down, increasing the stagger. Honestly, I'm not quite sure why they even stepped up without the HANZO in the first place, but the stagger continues for MCA, allowing Chili Mountain to get back into this game and look for the Sapper Camp invade. We see a bit of poke from Cookie, not able to do much else right here. Meanwhile, in that top lane, Vader's able to take at least the top sappers, kind of compensating for the pressure, and still a level lead being enjoyed by the members of MCA.
And they're going to be able, Chili Mountain's going to be able to get bottom fort back here, I think, pretty easily with that staggered death. There's no int like chain int for throwing a lead. Blaze going to be able to catch mid soak. They will get, and Master Academy will get 16 first here, despite everything. And maybe they can force a fight with 16 if Chili Mountain is willing to give it to them.
But now Chili Mountain heading toward the mid lane. Vader starting to back off from Dino, but MCA with this level 16 advantage going right for the Sapper Camp of Chili Mountain. Despite all of Chili Mountain being alive, we could see an attempted leyline combo. Masquerade stunning on to Blaze. Vader's not feeling too much pressure though, as it's actually Diablo taking a lot of damage and will get popped in the meantime. Diablo going down, the leyline seal used for disengage. I think we've yet to see one aggressive setup wombo just yet, just like you said, Cav. And now level 16 almost here for Chili Mountain, but they were not able to avoid a fight until they could let it happen. And ooh, Burt trying to throw in his sappers to get them to at least guarantee one of them to do core damage, but inadvertently throwing a minion instead. Not exactly what they wanted to do, and none of these sappers will make it. Actually, one of the sappers will make it into the kill zone, but the other two were denied. Warren Ooh getting a quick capture on the bottom. Dequaza top left, Vader's top right. Looks like these are simply going to go off without much ado. There it is right there, and still a nice healthy lead being enjoyed by MCA. Chili Mountain's gotta get it together. I would love to see them attempt their wombo even at least once this game, but they're just not able to find it, and time is running out.
It was that Giant Slayer when that Diablo got popped at 16 for HANZO, because
this is piercing.
It is piercing. Oh wow, he just did a lot of damage. He must have gotten them bounces that I did not see happening. This is auto attack Diablo, by the way, which is something that is really pickable with Div into comps that have no attack speed slows, but they do have that in-machine coding, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that to see if Diablo's getting a little bit baited. And pretty standard talents otherwise across the board. Nothing too unexpected other than an interesting tech pick coming out of Dino. He is going for that movement speed on 16 off of his Q, which is something we often see into Garrosh because it makes it harder for Garrosh to run at you.
Yep, Dino in particular with that evasive fire. And permanent move speed, always such a good tool as a ranged assassin to be able to avoid Garrosh. I remember seeing you on Inside the HGC, on your HGC rundown actually. Inside the CCL is what your CCL show is called. But I remember you seeing several years ago talking about Vala being able to use her permanent hot pursuit move speed to be able to avoid Garrosh and stay out of his range consistently as well. A bit of a similar interaction from a ranged DPS. Garrosh is just a character that needs to get in melee range of you, and if you can avoid that in any way, it really limits his effectiveness. This time Bert is able to successfully toss in one of the sappers, getting another hit onto the core. The other two sappers do die, but this does reduce Chili Mountain's core HP down to 8. Chili Mountain stepping forward here, portaling up towards mid lane again, guaranteeing a safe rotate, and this is an aggressive move onto Cookie, who's receiving the phase shift.
Everyone get the bunker! Everyone get the bunker!
Well, about that. there's a ley line.
No, you should still get in the bunker. They were silenced after the ley line. They could have still gotten in the bunker to cleanse the silence and come out with the armor, but no. You gotta I'm gonna be honest. There's no point in picking bunker if people don't get in the bunker. You should just go combustion. If your team won't get in the bunker, I don't care if you're in Master Slash. I don't care if you're in CCL. If your team won't get in the bunker, just go combustion until your team gets in the bunker. That's ugh.
It's all okay. And Cookie walking directly into the members of Chili Mountain right here will receive the follow-up Dragon's Arrow and the phase shift to help them out. Emerald Wind splitting Dino away from his team and away from those portals. Ultralisk in the backline feeling the pressure of Bert, but Masquerade is able to drop Warren Ooh, turning this fight into a 1-for-1. Actually, Masquerade also finishing off Cookie as well, making it a 2-for-1 now in favor of Chili Mountain. Hanzo going to go down as well. Everything was going so right for MCA, but this fight in particular, just not what they want. And now Bert is going to be a very large stagger if he does go down. He would hate to die, but the double stun combo. But however, with the bottom bell tower still in favor of MCA, not able to finish off Bert, Bert will be able to escape right there after a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Chili Mountain. Starts to even things up a bit right here, but CM still got their work cut out for them in this game.
Yeah, CM is literally one bad fight away from completely losing the game, because if an altar's up plus boss is up, and 3 people die, especially if it's one of them is Medivh, so they don't have a boss control tool left in their comp, they will lose. The game will be over. That's just sort of the way it is. This is a single altar phase, so really good time for it's really good time for Master Clash Academy, actually, because the single altar is not something they need to worry about too much in terms of throwing their lead. They are guaranteed to get 20 if they just passively soak for a little bit, and they're rushing boss. Okay, Cookie is queuing the boss. Don't do this as Tychus. Oh, actually, is he? No, he's not. Q is actually less single target damage than just autoing. So never ever Q a single target unless you are the Q16, which he is not. And they got boss. Now they're one altar away from winning. They're one altar away. Master Slash Academy. I think Chili Mountain's only dropped one map the entire time of Master Clash so far, so this would actually be their second loss. Increasing their losses by effectively 100% would be huge, and Master Clash Academy currently ranked 6th overall in the standings.
Master Clash Academy certainly with a strong showing so far in this game, but honestly, I don't want to sound toxic here, but I question how much of that is Master Clash Academy and how much of that is Ultralisk on this Medivh. And also a little bit of anti-synergy between Ultralisk and Masquerade. Honestly, I think it's a blend between the two. We haven't seen the attempted wombos with Ultralisk and Masquerade. We've seen also excellent portal interference from the members of MCA. A bit of a combination of great counterplay and so-so play on the side of CM with this. I'm wondering if this was just a draft where Medivh looked really good, but maybe a lack of practice. I'm not 100% sure. There could be a million reasons why it's not working out. But now CM stepping forward, looking for this camp, and that's an aggressive portal forward. Does force out the Emerald Wind from Warren Ooh, but that's not much of a cooldown, as Warren Ooh, of course, has the Storm talent tier, her Emerald Wind upgrade, reducing that cooldown down to just 5 seconds. Able to use Emerald Wind basically whenever they feel like it, and I can't help but feel like that just thoroughly complicates the approach that CM is going to have in this game if they have to worry about an Emerald Wind literally every 5 seconds.
Yeah, this should be a relatively easy altar for Master Slash Academy to secure, but because they lost that bottom fort, it's only going to be 3 shots. Masquerade, very deep here. He does have that Medivh portal out, so it's not that big an issue that he could potentially be that deep. DIABLO going to get the channel started on the left-hand side. Dino pushing in the top of the sill. Are we going to see APOC? We're going to see APOC, but Bunker, get in the bunker. Get in bunker. Get in the bunker.
Cookie walking away. Cookie walking away from the members of Chili Mountain. Banana H starting that turn-in, but actually got interrupted by a stray scatter arrow, or maybe it was just some simple geometry. Cookie popping in that Odin, gonna get in there. This is a 5v4 in favor of the members of Masters Clash Academy. Now Masquerade getting the stun onto Vader's. Garrosh tossing him in though, and now Burt receiving that phase shift as well as an Emerald Wind. Again, expect to see Warren Ooh just hit that button on cooldown over and over this game. Masquerade gonna get polymorph. The Criterize helping to set up the kill, but throw comes first before the portal, but hey, he can't get in the portal if there's an Emerald Wind. A Leyline Seal going to hit exactly one hero just on the Garrosh right there, and Chili Mountain still holding on despite being in this 4v5, as now Tychus has successfully taken back bottom bell tower. MCA was waiting on that in order to cap this altar, as they simply need those 4 shots to be able to win the game right here, but they are running out of time without DIABLO. DIABLO will respawn soon, and of course he's a global, so he'll be able to get right back into the action as soon as he has respawned. Cookie looking for the capture right here, and here's some damage onto DIABLO.
Oh, but that is a portal use. Portal not available now for a good 10 seconds. If they can make something happen. Oh, but Tychus dies. Emerald Wind getting a lot of value. Huge isolation in the backline, the healer, and they're going to get the APOC combo. It is timed correctly with the level 20. And that's going to be game, I believe, for Masters Clash Academy. I believe they should be able to 6-cap off of this if they want to, especially if they get more kills, which they are running for. It's so close. Priming's out of mana, but the blink and the silence from Dino. Yeah, Blaze is alive. They should, at a minimum, be able to get mid and bottom here. I really hope they actually go for the 6-cap. 6-cap is exactly what they need to end this game.
Well, now Chili Mountain taking out the middle bell tower, moving multiple members of their team as well down to bottom lane. That team fight, just such a disaster for MCA after starting it out so well. Looking at that 5v4, looking like they might have been able to end the game, but no, just not able to find it. Chili Mountain able to buy enough time for DIABLO to respawn. Now taking the bottom bell tower back as well. At minimum, like you said, this is going to be a 5-cap Cav, and DIABLO taking out those top sappers, at least getting a few slaps on them as well. Thinking about it, and just like we saw at the start of last objective, gonna slap the sappers for a few seconds and then just reset them and let them walk away, tapping first, and now getting, nope, still thinking better of it. Now MCA taking back the middle bell tower. Boss is up in 5 seconds, and we may see a move on the boss from the members of Chili Mountain. They are in the pit. MCA heading towards bot lane, so this is a free boss for Chili. They're just going to go ahead and secure it, and with this being taken, both teams will have exactly enough shots on this next objective to win. It all comes down to this final fight for the bottom altar.
MCA will have a little bit more map pressure, not map pressure per se, but a little bit more lane pressure in the bot because they will have the sappers pushing out as well. Dahaka doing his best to get some chip damage in the top, stacking that wave up, but it will be cleared because the incoming wave and it'll rebalance itself out. And it's all going to come down to this fight. That scatter did not interrupt. Okay. We're good. Medivh hovering overhead, looking for the giant leyline 20. We are going to see. Ooh. That poly did a lot. He actually took a significant portion of his health as damage. However, he's going to get a Mouth Q. Mouth will be able to heal him up pretty aggressively over time. And a very early Odin here. Huge arrow coming out. Huge cleanse. Huge Emerald Wind for the split. And we're going to see the APOC mistimed. That is highly unfortunate, but it doesn't even matter. Cookie's going to go down anyway. We're going to continue to push the Emerald Wind button and hope that it's enough to split, to get out. Everyone get in the bunker. Get in the bunker. Get in the bunker. Everyone did not get in the bunker. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Post 20, they won every fight. Everyone got in the bunker. I'm just going to say it.
And now 3 members of MCA dead. This is looking like an easy Chili Mountain victory at this point. Masquerade landing the flip onto Burt. Ultralisk following up with a Leyline Seal. These are the only 2 members of Masters Clash Academy left alive. Masquerade getting the stun combo. Vaders will go down. And I gotta say, I just don't know what Cookie's doing this game. MCA looked like they were really far ahead, as we see the GGs have been called. CM going to win this game. MCA was really far ahead, then Cookie face checks over here, and then MCA could have won the game, and Cookie goes bottom, and then MCA is in the final fight of the game, and Cookie stands still as Dahaka approaches him and tongues him directly into the team and into the apocalypse. And I think that if your DPS ints to start 3 fights in a row in the late game, there just isn't much that you can do. Right there, I just don't understand some of that gameplay from Cookie. Chili Mountain, though, good composure to stay in that game, despite looking like they were honestly going to lose for the majority of it. But of course, if there's any map in the game where you can come back from a rough early game, it is Towers of Doom. Well played by Chili Mountain to start this series 1-0.
Yeah, it's going to be the game. And in fairness, Smash Bros. Academy has some very good moments. They had a really aggressive attempt to end where they got that one kill, and then they sent the Tychus bottom to reclaim. And then Tychus got back. They had a 10-second window where they were still 5v4, and they just didn't manage to force that fight. But if they'd won that fight, they would have ended. They had some good rotations. They got Boss off the map at a really good time. Vader Z a little bit outsoaked by Dahaka, but it's a global versus a non-global. Vader Z was there for fights. He got some really good flanks. It was actually a much closer game than arguably it should have been. We got to see some really interesting talents as well. Auto attack Diablo, usually just absolute bait, even though it has a high ladder win rate and competitive. But with a Medivh, you're not really worried about not being able to leave, which is what auto attack Diablo normally has to think about, or getting focused. Because the Medivh will buffer for all the CC, and you can just keep hitting people. You get CDs, you can keep juggling. Juggle. It's really nice. We got to see the tech pick for the Sylvanas 16. We got to see the Emerald Wind into the Medivh matchup. We got to see 20 Bunker once, where people actually got into it. They didn't actually throw oils, but at least they got into it. So we're working on it. A lot of really great stuff that game.
And what's crazy is, aren't those oils talented? Because it just says it's a cast of oil spill, and it doesn't say untalented, so they should benefit from Nano Machine.
They are talented. In fact, it's not great in the early game, but a level 20 bunker with full oil build. So you have all the talented oils. You have the bigger oil at 4. You have the oils continue to slow even when they're on fire talent. You get all those together, and you have level 20 oils. It's really hard to do anything into a 20 bunker, because if all 5 heroes get into it, you can throw 5 talented oils at the enemy team, and then you're just like, everyone's slowed, everyone is attack speed slowed. It's a nightmare is what it comes down to.
And I do think that, especially in Towers of Doom, that's a viable win condition, honestly. Being able to just play for a big level 20, and really just in the state of Heroes of the Storm as it is, with the XP system, the post-HGC XP system, with XP globes, playing for 20 is more viable than it's ever been. You can certainly just play for a big late-game power spike here, as we take it into Game 2 of Chili Mountain versus Masters Clash Academy. Let's take a look at those maps. We see that Masters Clash Academy, after dropping a heartbreaker of a game number 1, is going to select Battlefield of Eternity, giving first pick over to Chili Mountain. As we wait for game number 2 to get started, just going to take a second for MCA to get ready, and we'll jump right on into it.
Well, that's interesting. Fish Hots in chat. MCA was coached by JPL for a long time. You can really feel that in some of their play. I was actually going to say that they're not consistently doing it, but there are some situations where I see them do things that I would expect from competitive players, like the tech talent picks, and even playing around Medivh drafts and coordinating certain things really well. And we don't see that from the 8th, 7th, 6th, and 5th place teams that often, or that consistently necessarily in Masters Clash. But MCA doing it occasionally makes sense that they had that sort of veteran advice, and even if they haven't managed to implement all of that advice consistently, there's an upgrade to the thought process of how you have to be playing competitive HOTS. So, and JPL, of course, brilliant player, who's the main tank for Dignitas during the last season of HGC.
Yeah, but I just loved the continuity of those Dignitas rosters, allowing them to consistently pull out their own flavor of comp in every tournament. I felt like when you have players that trust each other that much and have been have had so much experience with each other. That really was a big part of Dig, being able to just pull out Stitches comps basically whenever they wanted in big moments and get those huge pickoffs that led to some big tourney victories for them. Absolutely massive. As now we go into Game 2 versus Chili Mountain versus Masters Clash Academy with a double support choke right there coming out at the start of the game on Chili Mountain, not wanting to play against neither Lucio nor Anduin.
Yeah, I mean, one of the nice things about having Banana on your team is Banana can play basically every support at a very high level. And that means you can ban all the sports you don't want to play against because he can just pick something. It's going to be fine. What are you going to do? I'm curious about that Anduin ban. I'm wondering if they're going to pick something.
Come on!
He's in the lobby, guys. He's not in the game. They're actually going to first pick Rhaegar. So they think there's a support worth first picking, and now the enemy team is a little bit choked. However, I don't really think Lucio or Anduin is particularly good into Rhaegar specifically. I feel like you need an anti-heal to counter Rhaegar specifically. And, I think of anti-heal, I think of Anna. And she's still up. As long as the enemy team doesn't have any dive heroes, they can pick Anna very late in this draft and be totally fine with that.
And there is going to be a Li Ming and a Dahaka being enjoyed by MCA. Ana certainly always a threat from last pick, and of course when you are second pick, you have the very last pick of the game, allowing you to pick whatever fits the situation perfectly. Gonna see some more picks here from Chili Mountain. I'm wondering about this Dahaka priority in particular right here. Honestly, Battlefield just feels like a bit of an awkward map for the offlane in particular for me. But there is Dino picking up the Hanzo and Masquerade on that Diablo yet again. Love that classic pairing. Diablo puts him on the walls, and that's where Hanzo wants him. Just absolutely shredding through anybody that dares to stand too close to a wall with those scatter arrows, as well as contributing a high amount of race DPS as well. And I gotta say, Kev, I think that every single Masters Clash game that I've commentated so far on Battlefield of Eternity, there has always been a Li Ming before that third ban. Now, I understand that Li Ming is good on Battlefield, but 100% pick rate before third ban? Do you think that might be a little too much, or do you think it's justified?
I think it's a little much. Like, Li Ming isn't even... Li Ming is arguably the best poke racer, which is that if the enemy team's defending, you can throw Orbs the Immortal from a really good distance away and still get some damage on the Immortal. But she's not the best straight racer. You're not necessarily going to get resets. I think partially it's that Ming is considered to have weak macro, so people are like, oh, you can just always pick Ming on Battlefield, and it's fine because there's only a 2-lane map. There's not many waves clear. But also, anyone who enjoys playing Ming, their team will argue with them any map they want to play Ming except Battlefield. So they're probably like, I'll just lock Ming here. It'll be fine, right? It's what could go wrong. Wow, we're going to see Garrosh again as the Diablo counter into potential 7-sided from Karazine. That's actually a really difficult thing to deal with for most Diablos. You have to suddenly play very, very passively because if you get thrown in, you're so far away that no one else can tank the 7-sided with you, and you're going to get blown up.
I know it just looked shaky last game, but the Medivh, honestly, I feel like the damage structure is so telegraphed here. On the side of Masters Clash Academy, they do not choose to go for it, instead taking just a Sylvanas and a Urel. But I look at the side of MCA, I think, Li Ming's damage is telegraphed. You could entirely deny a 7-sided strike, you could throw them out of the portal, but maybe they don't want to deal with more of that Brightwing and Garrosh interference on portals, which was certainly very effective in game number 1. Makes perfect sense to me that Chili Mountain would go with a different strategy as well. Locking in that Sylvanas and Urel, and what's this very last pick going to be? That is a Maiev from Cookie. Interesting pickup right there. Maiev Li Ming going to be the damage structure for Masters Clash Academy, following up on those Garrosh throws.
Ooh, I am being called for map picks and bans for CCL, apparently.
Alrighty. If you've got to head out, then that's fine, Cav. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mockery. Thanks, Chit Chat, for the delayed chat. We made it work despite the time delay. This is how talking to people in space will work, by the way, with the time delay. So we're just practicing for space travel. Have a good night, everyone.
Alrighty. Cav has to get out of here. You have a good day, Cav. And now we are going to be flying solo for the rest of our games today. We have 3 more games. This is game 2 of Chili Mountain versus Masters Clash Academy. And our final series of the day after this is going to be Bang Bush versus Three-Legged Cat. I'm not sure why I'm showing you the load screen. I typically try not to do that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a little bit of superstition on my part. I usually just swap over to the camera. But regardless, let's take it into game number 2 here. On the right side of your screen for Masters Clash Academy, we have Vaders on that Tahaka, Warren Uu on the Karazim, Panda Colada gonna be playing that Li Ming, Commander Burt himself on the Garrosh, and Cookie playing that Maiev. On the left side, we have Masquerade playing Diablo, Dino on HANZO, Banana H on Rehgar, Sylvanas going to be played by Ultralisk, and Dayquaza on that Yrel. Notice right here, Chili Mountain opting for a 2-3 strategy, sending their Sylvanas top lane from the very start of the game. I think they might just go ahead and go for the lane cheese. Sylvanas actually even taking a very roundabout way all the way over here. I fully expect to see some pressure onto this tower. Ultralisk actually going to camp out of vision just right there for the moment. And now we see just a bit of scouting, each team tossing their abilities at each other. And let's check those level 1s. Ooh, that is a redemption for Dino right there. You know me, I'm an auto-attack Hanzo enjoyer, so I personally like to see that one, especially into Garrosh right there. And oh, that is a good tongue from Vaders, landing it onto Ultralisk, but with his wave already cleared, not able to get any tower shots onto Uli, as Ultralisk now just already bullying out this tower, and there's not much Vaders can do here in this 1v2. Cookie now rotating up to give him some backup, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 in bottom lane. We see a bit of a scuffle top lane here. Cookie getting knocked away by Dayquaza, which subsequently causes Dayquaza to get pulled back into the action. Both the members of MCA here in this top lane forced to use their healing fountains rather early as well. There is a scuffle in bot lane. Masquerade thrown under towers will tank 3 tower shots. In the meantime, did pop his soul shield, and the 3-on-3 between these two teams continues. I gotta say, the damage structure of Garrosh Li Ming is a little bit awkward in the early game and not quite as consistent as Diablo HANZO. I expect Diablo HANZO to have the advantage here, but in spite of that, we do see MCA going for this siege camp off of the back of their taps in the moment. Ooh, Commander Burt landing the groundbreaker onto HANZO. Warren Uu jumping right on into there. Masquerade trying to hit any flank, but Li Ming sniffs out exactly what he's doing. And now we do see Cookie on the rotation. This is going to be a 4-on-3 in favor of Masters Clash Academy. Cookie jumping in, makes sure to flip so that Masquerade can't get the stun onto them and shadow charge them towards their towers, and then Vault of the Wardening to prevent the flip. And then also we saw a Purge to prevent the Umbral Bind. So many nice little interactions right there between these two players, and this is going to be a bottom siege capture for Masters Clash Academy. On the other side of the map, hold on a second, here's Dino about to get pulled into Burt. Oh, Masquerade though, flipping Burt away from Dino to prevent the Garrosh throw. Such excellent tank play right there from Masquerade, you love to see it. Meanwhile, in top lane, Chili Mountain capturing the top siege camp, and now still a 1-for-0 in favor of Chili Mountain. Make it a 2-for-0? No, Cookie able to get out of there. You're on the draft scene, not the in-game scene, buddy. Thank you, appreciate you. There it is, and now as well, it's going to be a 1-for-1 between these two teams. Thank you for the call out, Fish. Appreciate you as always. Dayquaza and Ultralisk already looking to get significant pressure onto this top fort. Ultralisk hopping out the wall, able to clear that out. Dayquaza maybe gonna die to get this first fort, but hey, I think that's worth. If you get first fort 3 minutes into the game, just as first objective is starting at Battlefield of Eternity, and all it costs is your offlaner's life, then that is absolutely massive in favor of Chili Mountain, especially on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, where that passive pressure makes it so much easier to win this objective. Really good stuff on the side of Chili Mountain. Now Masquerade stepping forward, able to get some pressure onto this objective, enabling his teammates to get the race out, a slight race lead in favor of Chili Mountain. Cookie stepping forward aggressively will get blocked out by DIABLO. DIABLO hopping over the wall, and we're spying a look at the talents right here in a bit of downtime between these fights. Each team situated near their own Immortal, trying to get that defense. Meanwhile, Dino actually with the Stormbow able to finish off that Immortal. DIABLO in the middle of everybody on the side of Masters Clash Academy alongside Masquerade. But oh, the Immortal stun is huge, contributing to help finish off Garrosh, and it's now 2 for 2 on the kills between these two teams. Chili Mountain with a sizable lead on this first objective. Dino gonna hop right on over to that left side alongside Ultralisk and simply race it out. Meanwhile, the rest of their team zoning off of this Immortal. There's only so much Masters Clash Academy can do, but they do have a 4-on-3 over here, and now this is going to be a 7.5k Immortal for Chili Mountain quite early in the game. Level 7 about to be achieved for the members of Chili Mountain. They look to push with this Immortal 4 heading bot as Dino seeks to rejoin the team at the moment. A little twinge inside of me kind of wanted to see the sharpened arrowheads from Dino, but this is going to be the never outmatched. A solid choice, especially if you are such a skilled ranged assassin and HANZO player as Dino is. Able to continue the push here from Chili Mountain. Masquerade off of the Shadow Charge will get tossed right into the thick of things, and here is DIABLO as well. Dahaka now trying to join the action with that Breaststalker. We see Vader's at the bottom left of our screen right here, coming in for the flank. The members of Chili Mountain backing off, simply letting their Immortal do the damage to this fort. Masters Clash Academy trying to clear it out, will be able to preserve their second fort of the game. Not going to lose both before the 6-minute mark at least. Still relatively even on the experience, and yet another purge by Banana H to prevent the Umbral Bind pull from Maiev. Good stuff. Both teams immediately transitioning now to this bottom siege camp, but notably Yrel for Chili Mountain is all the way in top. Masquerade popping that Soul Shield, does have 70 spell armor. Dahaka landing the tongue onto Banana H, as well as the Umbral Bind from Maiev. Banana H will go down. 1 for 1 between these two teams as Li Ming dies. 2 for 1 in favor of MCA. Make it a 2 for 2 now, evened up again between these two teams. Yrel is here in the action. DIABLO and now Chili Mountain capping this after a 2 for 2 fight. Vader starting to walk away. Hold on a second. Masquerade not able to find anything, and not exactly the fight that MCA wanted. Members of Masters Clash Academy hearthing right on out of there, which will allow Chili Mountain an opportunity to get some push damage. Dino looking for whatever they can get. If they can finish off this fort right here, which it looks like they will do easily. Wow, DIABLO actually, hold on, getting tossed into MCA, is dropping very low, does not have Ardent Defender. Banana H getting the heal just in time. Oh, DIABLO able to hop over the wall, but there's Vader's cutting off the rotation, cutting off the retreat. DIABLO jumps the wall again and will actually be able to escape. What a crazy sequence from DIABLO to evade the measures of Vader's trying to finish them off, and the fight continues now. SYLVANAS over there capping that top neutral siege camp for the side of Chili Mountain. Dino just absolutely bullying the members of MCA. Lands a big scatter right there as well. Dragon Arrow purely to interrupt a hearth, maybe trying to finish off a member of Masters Clash Academy. Not able to find it. Meanwhile, here's Ultralisk on that split push in the top lane, amassing a large wave that will necessitate some wave clear from Masters Clash Academy. And as Masters Clash Academy clears this, of course, Chili Mountain just getting such a massive lead onto this Immortal. Arcane Orb will not land onto anything from Banda Colada, and Masters Clash Academy still looking for that level 10 and just about to get it right here. Chili Mountain 100% health Immortal, not a single point of damage taken onto it yet, and they would love to have a full HP Immortal just siege onto the keeps of Masters Clash Academy, who now have their 10s though. They approach, throw onto Masquerade directly into the 7-sided strike, gets big damage onto him. Containment Disc actually denying Vader's the tongue a little bit of anti-synergy, but DIABLO going to go down regardless. Now DIABLO in the middle of MCA's backline, forced to use that Ardent Defender. Banana H biting away, not enough to save him. That's going to be a double kill in favor of Masters Clash Academy. DIABLO did have souls, so he's going to respawn, and Chili Mountain Siege Camp still pushing out that top lane. Masters Clash Academy starting to back away. Tongue from Vader's does not land onto DIABLO. Chili Mountain securing a nearly 100% HP Immortal here, and the fight's not over yet. DIABLO, Masquerade, both jumping into here. Warren Wu will go down right into the hands of DIABLO, making a double kill, a triple kill for Chili Mountain. Oh my gosh, the pressure is immense. Not able to find Panda Colada. Dino searching for it. Wait a second. Oh, just barely not interrupting the hearth, but is going to force Li Ming to back off. Meanwhile, we see Rayquaza and Masquerade pushing with this Immortal, and this is just a little Tom and Jerry action going on right here with Panda Colada trying to run away. Keep in mind that the entire time that this is going on, Masters Clash Academy is losing bot keep to an extremely healthy Immortal. Panda Colada gonna get finished off by the towers. This Immortal about to finish bot keep 9 minutes into the game and hasn't even lost its shield yet. Mind control does land onto Warren Wu, who does hit the 7-sided strike, trying to get some damage onto Rayquaza. Rayquaza does not have Ardent Defender and is also unable to hop over the wall, but now this Immortal has made it all the way to the core of Masters Clash Academy, a much more one-sided game 2 of this series compared to our first game. Rayquaza hammering off the front line of Masters Clash Academy. This core is starting to take big damage. Maiev goes down, a 5v4 in favor of Chili Mountain. Bert now dropping quite low. This core is down to 40%, and this is going to be an exceptionally quick game 2 here in favor of Chili Mountain, completing the sweep of Masters Clash Academy. 13 kills in a 10-minute game. I think that's the fastest Masters Clash game that I've commentated so far. And it's always on Battlefield of Eternity, okay? Last weekend, I commentated a Battlefield of Eternity game that went like 11 minutes by Oxygen. And then later in the same day, another Battlefield of Eternity game went 10 minutes, 30 seconds. And then now here, this game, I don't even think hit the 10-minute mark. Chili Mountain just absolutely dominant in this game so far. In the series, that finishes up that best of 2. What a series right there. That is our second series out of 3 for the day. We're going to have one more after this. And we're actually a little bit ahead of time because those games went so quickly. We have 8 minutes until our next series starts. Let's go ahead and take a look at that scoreboard. An absolutely one-sided showing here in this series. In game number 2 at least, game 1 looked much more competitive. Masters Clash Academy with a high level of interference on those Medivh portals. A tough-fought loss, just not quite able to finish it out. Meanwhile, though, in this game 2, Chili Mountain getting absolutely everything they wanted, just winning the fights so dominantly. Absolutely big stuff right there. And I gotta say, hey, this is a point in favor of our redemption enjoyers out there, all of our auto attack Hanzos. You don't need to pick all the other talents necessarily, but that redemption at level 1, ooh, mwah, absolutely good stuff. You love to see it. And it allows you to put out, oh, I just clicked out of the scoreboard. I clicked the little Nexus thing in the top left. Okay, we have no scoreboard. Professional caster, by the way. I only do the highest of quality work. But what a series. Next up in the schedule, let's go ahead and take a look at that, is going to be Bang Bush versus Three-Legged Cat. This will be our final best of 2 of the weekend we're about to see right here. Bang Bush versus Three-Legged Cat. Let's take a look at the standings in particular and see how that's going to shake out. And ooh, we actually now see with here, the standings have been updated to show who has qualified. These last 3 teams here, all guaranteed spots in the LAN. They have secured insurmountable leads over the 4th place. Each of these top 3 teams going to go to LAN. And of course, once this group stage finishes, there's one more week after this, there's one more weekend. Once this group stage finishes, there will be the Gauntlet. For those of you unfamiliar with how the Gauntlet works, the Gauntlet is an escalating playoff system where the top 2 teams face off against one another, and then whoever wins that goes up against the next playoff team or the bottom 2 teams, rather. So number 8 and number 7, Inting for Ruby in the Gauntlet, assuming the playoff standings stay exactly as they are, which is honestly fairly likely. If the Gauntlet goes like that, then number 8 and number 7, Inting for Ruby and Three-Legged Cat, would play against each other in the first stage of the Gauntlet. Whoever wins that would face off against the number 6 team, Masters Clash Academy. Whoever wins that would face off against the number 5 team, Granite Gaming. Whoever wins that would face off against the number 4 team, Rage Quit Gaming. And whoever wins that would get to go to LAN in France against these other top 3 teams. That will be the Gauntlet leading into the finale, which will be the ultimate culmination of Masters Clash 2022 to determine the overall champions. And if you're Chili Mountain, you gotta feel great about your chances going into this tourney. Armor Reduce could have been so good into Garrosh's armor. It could have indeed. I do think Never Outmatched is just such a crazy talent that a lot of times it is hard to justify not picking it. But certainly Armor Reduce, I think honestly a rather underrated talent. Sharpened Arrowheads is just simply really good, especially into Garrosh, into Deathwing. The ability to reduce the armor of those high armor heroes just takes away so much of what they want to do, for sure. We still have another 5 minutes to go until our next lobby will get moving, so we just got to kill a little bit more time here until we get to see Bangbush face off against Three-Legged Cat.